Hey everybody, my name is Dennis Ochoa, and I'm going to be speaking to you guys about the Super Bowl halftime show. Before I start, who here watched the Super Bowl halftime show this year? Keep y'all hands raised.
Okay.
Who understood it?
Oh.
Yeah, the majority of you guys put your hands down, but millions and millions of people watch the Super Bowl halftime show every year. And as you may know, this year's Super Bowl halftime show was not performed by an English artist, or rather, it was performed by famous Puerto Rican rapper and singer Bad Bunny. Before the Super Bowl halftime show even started, there's already a lot of controversy on the performer, just because he speaks Spanish. I mean, not only because he speaks Spanish, but most of his songs are in Spanish, and yeah, so. And there's two sides to this on people agreeing that it's okay that it was in Spanish, and others thought it was something bad. So on the perspective of why it should be in only in English, there's a lot of languages that is spoken in the United States, so languages is pretty important in big events like the Super Bowl. So, but according to the census.gov, English is the most spoken language in the U.S. 78% of the U.S. population speak only English. So what does this mean? So the majority of people in the United States watching the Super Bowl halftime show, I mean, they didn't even understand most of the show. And the only three English words that Bad Bunny said was "God bless America." So imagine watching a show in a whole different language, and the only thing you understood was three words. So, and also, it's always been a tradition. It's always been a tradition that the Super Bowl halftime show was in English. So why break it to now? Like, according to PBS, it was the first show to be performed entirely in Spanish. So, what does this mean? I mean, it's like it was only in Spanish, so most of the people at the Super Bowl halftime show did not understand it. So, however, there are points to why it should be in any language, I could say. So, well, especially for the Super Bowl halftime show, Spanish is the second most spoken language in the United States according to census.gov. And what does this mean is that many Spanish speakers tuned in and watched the Super Bowl halftime show. So for example, it gained more viewership. The game averaged 125 million viewers, while the Super Bowl halftime show averaged 138 million, setting an all-time record for the most viewed Super Bowl halftime show ever. And also, we live in a country of freedom, so artists have the right to express where they come from, and have the right to, do anything, or perform in any language, I guess. So yeah, so that's my conclusion on why events like the Super Bowl halftime show could be performed in any language or only English. Any questions? Any questions? Yes.
Wouldn't you argue that it doesn't matter what language it's in, given the U.S. doesn't have an official language?
Yes, I think the U.S. does not have an English, does not have an official language. I mean, the current U.S. president did try to make it an official language, but he failed. I mean, it is.
Wait, actually, I'm really sorry. I have another question.
Yes.
How do you think this is different from? Wait, were there like captions on this, like on live TV? Like, were there English captions on this?
You can put your own
Yeah, you can put your own captions.
Not the actual
Okay,
broadcast.
wouldn't you argue that like this is like similar to like not having a like a translator giving translations of the ASL for viewers that are hearing impaired?
They did.
How would you argue this is different, or would you argue it's similar?
I think it's different, cause I mean, actually,
Because it's not disability.
yeah,
So like they actually had sign language interpreters.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. He's talking. Basically, answer for me.
The interpreters are for disabilities, they're protected.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really liked your topic. Like, what made you choose it?
I saw it around a lot, so I was like, why not speak about it? Yes.
You argued the side of people who didn't agree with it really well, and I know that because when you started talking about it, I tensed up and got immediately upset.
Right.
So you argued it really well. It's close to the win. I'm glad you switched. It wouldn't have been your fault.
Yeah.
But
Miss
I-
Fox, yeah.
I like how you discussed like we don't have an official language.
Yeah, we don't.
And Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory.
Literally, yeah.
That's about as American as it gets.
Right.
Spanish isn't any less a part of what makes this place this place. It actually contributes a lot to it, and I feel like you included the elements of that really well.
Thank you. Yes. Gabe.
Do you think putting a Spanish-speaking artist in the halftime show right now, like in today's society, do you think that was like a good idea?
Yes. I mean, I mean, although everything was in Spanish, he gave a very strong message on what's going on in the world right now, or in this
Yeah.
country right now, to be specific.
You didn't need to understand him to understand what was going
Exactly,
on. I
yes.
feel like it's one thing to not like it because it's, I guess, a lot going on. I feel like it's another thing to not like it because you don't understand this person and you're also not trying to understand any of like the rhetoric or the context. That's a different thing entirely, and that's something wrong with you, not anything wrong with his performance.
Alright, last one.
I was gonna say, do you think having it in Spanish, do you think that was meant to be like a power move and like commentary on all the racism and hatred we have going on right now?
No, because, or maybe yes, because the Super Bowl halftime show performer is selected right after the Super Bowl. So, I mean, the last Super Bowl was what day was it? 2025 was it in